Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I am Camille Townsend, and I am blessed to serve as the principal for Charles H. Houston Elementary School, home of the Bulls. Houston Elementary School is the hidden gem of Ward 7. We are a small school and a mighty crew, and we are bursting with Bull pride. We are honored today to welcome Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Furby and all of our esteemed guests to support us as we continue to celebrate Black History Month by highlighting Black authors and literacy. I'm going to take this opportunity to turn it over to Mayor Bowser. Again, welcome to Houston Elementary School, where we have Bull pride.
Thank you so much, Principal. Let's give your principal a big round of applause. I also want to recognize your wonderful teachers, boys and girls, who have worked so very hard to make sure that school is fun and enriching and that we're making up for time that we weren't in school and that you're getting ready for the summer, for next year, and for your entire lives. So can you give your teachers a big round of applause? I am happy to be here. You're going to hear from some wonderful guests today, including a very important person for education in DCPS. He is responsible for making sure Principal Townsend and all your teachers have everything that they need, and all the things that you're learning at school are going to prepare you for life. And for the college and the jobs that you will have. So please give a big round of applause to Chancellor Farabee for DC Public Schools. I'm also excited that we've been joined by other important leaders for schools. Jackie Pogues-Lyons is responsible for working with teachers and Chancellor Farabee to make sure you have everything you need. Jacqueline Pogues-Lyons, as well as our friend, also who works for teachers all over the country to make sure that public education is invested in at the federal level, which I know you're learning about, but also here at the local level. So welcome Randy Weingarten from the American Federation of Teachers. So we are celebrating Black History Month. And of course, we celebrate Black history year-round in Washington, D.C., because we have a lot of Black history to celebrate. In fact, your school is named for a very famous African American, Charles Hamilton Houston. And I bet you know, and you learn in your school every day, how important Charles Hamilton Houston is to our history. He was an extremely accomplished lawyer. And one of the things he did was that he played a key role in ridding our country of Jim Crow laws. Those were laws that allowed places like schools to segregate people and discriminate against Black people. So your school is named after this very important man for our entire country. I want to thank your librarian. Give Ms. Jones a big round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Jones. And Principal Townsend and Ms. Jones, you should know that we have designated in the district, we have a project to erect a statue for Charles Hamilton Houston in the District of Columbia. And it is very important, and maybe you can have the school involved in how that statue is cited, but the artist who's going to develop it and the ceremonies around celebrating it. So I'm very pleased with that. Again, I want to thank everybody for being so focused on our education and knowing that learning about the good things and the bad things and the things that have changed in our country's history is important to American history. So one thing for sure is that we are participating in read-ins, and I'm happy that later today we will read The Day We Learned to Fly by Jacqueline Woodson. And it's a book about using your imagination. And so with that, I want to turn to our chief educator, the Chancellor of DC Public Schools, Louis Farabee.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be with you today. I also want to recognize Principal Townsend, who has been a strong leader for you and our entire school community. Also, Instructional Superintendent Bethel, who supports this school. You will hear a lot, and you will continue to hear us say how important it is to read. And as we celebrate Black History Month, one of the ways that you can exercise the joy of reading, and it's to build knowledge, is to read and learn about important people in our history, particularly Black Americans. And so we're proud to be partnered with the Washington Teachers Union, the NEA, and they have been supporting us with distributing books to students all across DCPS. So we want you to take this entire month. As the mayor said, we celebrate Black history 365 days in a year, year-round, but particularly this month in February, we want you to read as much and learn as much as possible about Black Americans and their contribution to our great history. I am so proud of you. I know that you are doing great things here day in and day out at Houston Elementary because your principal told me, and your teacher told me as well. So continue to do your best each day. I'm extremely proud of you. Continue your great work. Thank you.
So with that, I am proud to welcome to speak to you our Washington Teachers Union representative, and then I'll introduce Ms. Weingarten. So Jacqueline Pogues Lyons.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm so honored that I'm here at Charles H. Houston Elementary School. He has always been one of my heroes growing up, and one reason why he's one of my heroes is because he opened doors that people like my grandmother and my mother never thought would be open as they lived and grew up in Washington, D.C. I wouldn't be here. The mayor, Randy Weingarten, our chancellor, our principal, wouldn't be here today if those doors weren't opened up by the brilliance, the intelligence, and the legal mind of Charles H. Houston. Now, I have two tasks for you. I didn't learn about Charles H. Houston until I was a lot older. Your job, he's an important American. He's a Black American, but he is an American. And no one sings his praises as much as I believe they should. Your job as an elementary school student at Charles H. Houston is to sing his praises and let everyone know who he is and why he is important to the fabric of America. The next job you have is to be just as brilliant and focused and tough-minded as Houston was. Because again, just like my grandmother, he had a lot of doors that were not open for him. He opened the door for you. All you have to do is walk through it. But that means you have to work hard. You have to listen to your teachers. You have to listen to your parents. You have to listen to your librarians and your school leaders. They want the best for you. But there are lots of people out here now who want to close that door because of what you look like, how you pray, who you love, what you do. It's up to you to keep those doors open and not let them close. So with that, I want to thank you because I'm so honored that you invited me here today. Keep working hard, and please invite me back. Thank you.
All right. You heard your assignment. You heard your assignment. So in introducing our next speaker, I want to send a big thank you from Washington, D.C. to Randy Weingarten, from the parents of Washington, D.C., and the children of Washington, D.C., and thanking you for a very tough job that I know that you've had over the last 2 years. One thing, boys and girls, that we have been really fighting hard to make sure we could do is to make sure you're back in school, that you're safe, that you're with each other, that you're with your teachers, and that you have every single thing that you need. And we had a lot of partners in getting that done. Your teachers, first and foremost, who have been energetic and creative and excited to be with you when you were virtual, but especially now that we're back together at school. So, Randy, thank you for your work, and welcome to Charles Hamilton Houston.
I don't know, Madam Mayor, you know, the Chancellor and I seem to have a thing here. Like one Washington school, we're giving out glasses. One Washington school, we're giving out books. So I think we got a little thing going on here. So I am, okay, one of the things is I am the shortest of all the speakers. Yeah, perfect, thank you. So, look. Are you glad to be in school? Okay, don't all be so excited at once. Let me try it again. I know it's 9:20. Do we like being in school? Raise your hand if you like being in school. This is an exercise moment. Raise both hands if you like being in school. Yes. Look, this has been a really tough 2 years for everybody. Like the wearing the mask, being socially distant, the COVID, the this, the that, in school, out of school, all these different rules. It's been really tough. And one of the things, as the mayor just said, a lot of us spend a lot of time talking about science. Science is really good to talk about, but we talk about it in terms of safety. But what we really want to talk about as school teachers, as parents, is the love of reading. We love to read. But reading, you need to have books to read. And you need to have things that are interesting to read. And so part of what we're doing, in conjunction with Washington, D.C. right now in Black History Month, is that we are giving out books. In fact, look, we're the teachers union. So we're giving out a lot of books. We're giving out 1 million books.
All right.
1 million. That's more than one, that's more than two. I'm a high school social studies teacher, so I'm not going to count up to 1 million. But the point is this. We want to give out books that you're going to enjoy, that you see yourself in. Like I get to this afternoon or this morning, I get to read this book to a group of second graders. This book, the oldest student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read. Do you know who Mary Walker was? We're talking about history. Mary Walker was born into slavery. She was freed from slavery at 15 years old. At 68, she was still working, raising money for her church. At 114 years old, she was the last remaining member of her family, 114 years old. At 116 years old, this lady, Mary Walker, learned to read. 116 years old. That was something that she wanted her whole life. And think about the struggle and the drive to do that. That's part of what we're celebrating. But we want to make sure you have everything you need to not only recover from this period of time, but to thrive, to do everything you want. So that's what the AFT did. And when you're out in the vestibule of the school, you're going to see we have a bookmobile. It's just a picture of the bookmobile, but that bookmobile is going to go all across America to make sure that kids have the books that they want and need to read, that teachers have the supplies that they need, and that we can make reading fun and enjoyable for the rest of your lives. Thank you very much.
Exploding with every kind of flower we've ever ever dreamed of growing?
You're beautiful and brilliant mind.
What do you think?